We're hoping to find out, of course, is if there could be other bombs out there at this point. As we know, just two more were found just this morning, one here in Florida, which was addressed to New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, and another in New York City, discovered there, addressed to former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, as you know, and another person who has been highly vocal about his criticisms of the president. So obviously that connection there throughout all of the apparent targets of some of these packages, some of these potential bombs. And those were just the latest ones discovered this morning, and it's suspected, or we just don't know at this point, if there could be others out there. And I assume we're hoping that's something that we learn from this briefing at 2:30 this afternoon.
In fact, many times the law enforcement has said to be on the lookout for these suspicious packages. Again, most of them looking very similar. The yellow padded package with the return address here in South Florida to Debbie Wasserman Schultz, to her office in Sunrise. And inside, many of the packages have been very similar as well. So they are asking everyone to be very vigilant, to be on the lookout, not just here in South Florida, obviously, but across the country for any kind of suspicious package that may have the same bearings as the ones we have seen surface yesterday and today as well.
And the NBC station in Washington, D.C. is reporting that a male possibly in his 50s is in custody here in Florida in connection with those bombings, and that he could originally be from New York City or the New York State area. So that's some information that they are now reporting. Of course, all of this just coming into our newsroom. So we're working to get all of this confirmed as quickly as we can.
And again, if you're just tuning in to us right now, we are in special coverage. An arrest has been made in connection with the bombs that have been surfacing here as well as other places around the country. The area that we are looking at here where this person has been taken into custody and where they are processing a van is State Road 7 at Southwest 6th Street. The area is closed in both directions right now, north and southbound lanes, and will be for the next several hours.
And absolutely, and this is obviously active scene here, and we knew yesterday that there was some sort of connection here in South Florida. So, and actually, I am just getting word from my producer that our reporter, Roy Ramos, I believe, has just arrived on the scene. Roy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Tell us what you see so far. We know you just arrived on the scene. Obviously, you're gathering up those details, but describe the scene for us.
Well, we just arrived in the past 5 minutes, and we can tell you that there are several businesses here in this area. People are coming outside of those businesses to see the police activity. We're right at the corner of State Road 7 and Southwest 6th Street. You can see law enforcement off in the distance right there. We do know that there are surrounding an auto zone, and this again is in connection to suspicious packages that were sent all across the country to high-ranking government officials. We do know that a suspect, they are calling this person a suspect in connection to those suspicious devices. Now, we are hearing that that suspect is now being transported to an FBI office. Now, we told you about packages sent to Hillary Clinton, former President Barack Obama, former CIA Director John Brennan, former Attorney General Eric Holder, and billionaire George Soros. All of those packages, we learned, had a return address to U.S. Republican Debbie Wasserman Schultz's office in Sunrise. Now, Wednesday, her office had to be evacuated, but today, the FBI confirming that another package was addressed to New Jersey Democratic Senator, and that was recovered right here in Florida. We're also hearing reports of an additional package that was addressed to former Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper. Now, right now, we are working to find out who this suspect is. Again, we are told that he is being transported to an FBI office here in the state of Florida, but a lot of police activity out here. We can tell you that it was very difficult for us to get even to the location that we are at now because there are several roads blocked off in both directions. Again, we are on State Road 7 and Southwest 6th Street. Officers telling us to stay right where we are and not move any further to that police activity. As we gather more information, we'll be sure to let you know.
All right, Roy, we're going to let you go for a minute so you can go ahead and gather up more details. Of course, we know that you are a bit limited in what you can do right now, but we want to give you that opportunity since you just arrived on the scene. But for those of you who are just joining us and you're turning on your TVs right now, we have this special coverage going on as we've learned that an arrest has been made in connection with those pipe bomb packages. And right now, looking over this scene, this is Sky 10 live over this scene in Plantation. As we heard Roy mention, this is 801 South State Road 7 in Plantation. And these investigators, we know the FBI, the NYPD on that scene, where they're zoning in on this van that is about to be towed away. That van, of course, somehow related to this investigation and no doubt related to this person who was arrested in connection to those pipe bomb packages. And I am joined by my colleagues Amy Viteri as well as my co-anchor Christy Kruger. And something that we can see here in this split screen is that van that we were talking about. We can see all those stickers with President Trump, and that's an important connection because we know that these packages were sent to critics of President Trump.
And it's still not clear exactly what the location is where this person was taken into custody, but I am hearing from sources that that is not what we are looking at here, that this is obviously a separate location where they have really focused in on the van that you have been referencing, Janice. But as far as the arrest location where this individual was found, where they took him into custody, that has not been shared yet, and it appears that it is still unknown. The only thing that we have heard reported several times mentioned is that he is in Florida when they took him into custody, potentially from out of state originally. But that is really the question. You know, could he have been taken into custody here in our area, given the fact that this van seems to be such a focus of their investigation, and they're releasing so few details, Christy.
And speaking of releasing details, we do know that at 2:30 there is going to be a news conference to be held where we will learn, I suspect, a lot more about this person, the suspect, as well as what led them to this person, as well as the van. We also are looking at some video, of course, of the Opa-locka postal packaging station. That's where so many of these packages were processed and brought the focus of the investigation here to South Florida. Again, this is Opa-locka, and that has been a focus of the investigation yesterday as well as today.
Absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Amy.
No, I was just going to say our Glenna Milberg was on the scene a few minutes ago. She was with Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who, as you know, has been a huge focus of all of this. Some of those packages addressed incorrectly as coming from the Congresswoman, and she was speaking just minutes before this arrest occurred, talking about how her staff was able to recognize that package because she received one as well as suspicious, and just getting a little bit emotional at the thought of the potential danger, I'm sure, to her staffers, and so many others. And still not clear, of course, speculation that the person who is sending this to prominent Democratic figures is someone critical of them, who is defending the president. But really, at this point, the motive's still unknown and not clear. We don't know much about. We do know there were dangerous materials, that these were bombs, but none of them, fortunately, detonated. No injuries that we're aware of.
Okay, Amy, I'm going to step in right now. We are going to take a quick break and continue to gather more information for you. We will be back in just a couple of minutes. Again, special coverage of an arrest in connection with the bombs across the country.
Hey, how long is this break?
Go ahead.
I don't know why they don't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
A minute or 2.5?
I am just now getting my computer to work, believe it or not. I don't know. You had to keep hitting that thing.
Yeah, it's acting wonky.
They're over there. Just let Amy and Christy know to probably start up the coverage because I got to grab
I didn't want to say.
But I don't think right there, like at that spot.
Oh, right.
Okay. Who's saying
Right.
ABC?
So, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, someone.
Okay. Do whatever you have to do. Okay. No, it's Sun saying a man has been arrested in Plantation in connection to the bomb.
Okay.
Police tracked the suspect near Broward Boulevard and State Road 441.
Where did they say?
At State Road 441 and Broward Boulevard.
So different location.
Oh, different location.
Okay.
What? Okay. I'm sorry.
Change?
Change what? Oh, it's change. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were wanting me to change. I'm like, I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Teju, were you saying that we're doing something?
15.
Okay. Can I ask a question? What are we? Where is Sky 10 above?
10.
I know which location in Plantation.
The van?
Welcome back to our continuing coverage. Right now, you're looking at live video from Sky 10. We are over Plantation. This is the area of State Road 7 and Southwest 6th Street, where a very active situation is unfolding. A van is being processed. We also understand that one person has been taken into custody, a suspect in the bombings that have been mailed to various politicians as well as to the CNN headquarters in the last couple of days.
At this point, we're still waiting on confirmation of exactly where this suspect was taken into custody. Reports that it was also potentially in Plantation, but we're working to get confirmation of that. The United States Department of Justice planning a news conference for this afternoon at 2:30. So they are obviously going to be working to gather up as much details and information as they can share with us about this developing scene. You can just see the amount of FBI agents there, a lot of federal law enforcement on the ground processing a lot of evidence. We have seen them focusing specifically on that van that we have been showing you throughout the past half hour or so. And it looks like removing objects from it. That white van there covered in stickers, many of them stickers of support of President Trump. Again, at this point, we are still working to determine who this van belonged to, if it was, in fact, this suspect who has now been arrested in connection with all of these package bombs that have been sent around the country, really suspected of having come from right here in South Florida, Kristen.
Yeah, in fact, the investigation really shifted here to South Florida yesterday as well as this morning. The number of those bombs now reaching 12, and several of them that we know went through the processing and distribution center in Opa-locka and also Monroe counties. The law enforcement officials are out there from Miami-Dade Police. They've been to the mail sorting facility as well. That facility, again, where a number of these packages were processed through. You're looking also at that white van that we mentioned. That one has been covered now with a tarp, again, covered in pro-Trump stickers. Agents, many of them from the FBI, have been surrounding that truck and taking items from it, getting ready to load it onto another truck to be taken in for processing.
And the latest bomb discovered here in Florida just this morning, that one addressed to New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. The second